What happens when the laughter of children disappears from the streets, not because of war, not because of famine, but because of a white powder that steals them quietly in the night? In a Russian town where winter lingers longer than spring, snow blankets the empty playgrounds. The swings creak in the wind, but no one comes to play. The benches, once filled with chatter and stories, now stand frozen in silence. It is a silence heavy with absence, heavy with lives cut short before they have even begun. Among these streets walks a girl named Katya, 15 years old. Her dark hair falls over her tired eyes that once sparkled with dreams of painting the world with color. She was a child of promise, known for sketching flowers on torn notebook paper, known for staying behind in class to help clean the chalkboard. But now her steps are slower, her shoulders smaller, her skin pale against the cold. She is not alone in this struggle, though she feels like she is. Around her, hundreds of other teenagers are trapped by the same powder mephedrone, the drug they call Meow. It creeps like a ghost through stairwells and phone screens, hidden in plastic bags that pass from hand to hand. For a few fleeting minutes, it makes the world lighter, but in the hours that follow, it pulls the soul deeper into shadows. Katya's story is not just her own. It is the story of a generation caught in a storm they never asked for. Behind her stands her brother Misha, older by 2 years, his heart divided between protecting his sister and holding his own fragile world together. Somewhere nearby waits Lena, Katya's closest friend, soft-spoken, kind, yet slipping down the same dark slope. The snow keeps falling, the night grows colder, and the question remains: how many children must be lost to a poison that sells itself as escape? How many dreams must be buried in this winter before someone reaches out a hand? This is where the story begins. Katya is not the only one. She is a single face among many, a single voice in a growing silence. In the stairwells of crumbling apartment blocks, teenagers gather in shadows, their hands shaking, their laughter hollow. In classrooms, teachers speak, but eyes wander glazed, restless, already far away. It is here we meet Misha, Katya's brother. 17 years old, tall for his age, his frame carrying more than just the weight of books. He carries his sister's future, their mother's worry, and the unspoken duty of being strong when strength feels impossible. Misha has always been protective. The one who walked Katya to school when she was younger, the one who stood between her and the bullies. But now, even his arms cannot shield her from what she faces. He sees the change in her long silences, the way her hands twitch, the way she avoids the mirror. And though he pretends to be strong, there are nights he cries quietly into his pillow, wishing he could turn back time. Close to Katya's world is Lena, her closest friend since childhood. Lena, with her soft laughter and gentle nature, once dreamed of becoming a nurse. She was the kind who always shared her lunch, who whispered encouragement before exams. But behind her kindness grew a hidden sorrow, a broken home, a father who left, a mother who worked endlessly to survive. When Mephedrone arrived, it did not feel like a danger to Lena. It felt like relief, like breathing for the first time after years of holding it all in. The plague spreads, not with fire or smoke, but with whispers, text messages, and promises of escape. In hidden rooms, in bathroom stalls, in basements where the light barely reaches, children like Katya and Lena search for comfort in a powder that does not comfort. They search for joy in a substance that robs joy. They search for belonging in a poison that isolates them. And still, outside, the snow keeps falling. The world goes on. Neighbors pass by, not knowing nor not wanting to know, the battles being fought just beyond the walls. The faces of the plague are everywhere. They are not strangers. They are sons, daughters, brothers, friends. The night is sharp with cold. Snow gathers in piles along the sidewalks, untouched, except for the faint footprints of children hurrying home. But Katya is not hurrying. Her steps drag, her breath uneven. The streetlights blur above her, stretching into streaks of light as her body weakens. In her pocket, the tiny bag that promised escape now weighs like a stone. She does not make it home that night. Just a few meters from the door of their apartment block, Katya collapses onto the frozen ground. The snow receives her quietly, her thin body trembling against the biting wind. Her fingers claw at the ice, searching for something solid to hold, but nothing is there. The cold bites deeper. Her lips turn pale, and for a moment, it seems as though she might disappear into the silence of the night. Just another name whispered among the many already lost. Inside, Misha waits. He hears no footsteps on the stairs, no sound of a key turning in the lock. Worried, he rushes down to the street, calling her name into the night air. And then he sees his little sister lying in the snow, her body shivering, her eyes barely open. A cry rises in his chest, but the streets are empty. There is no one to hear, no one to help. Misha bends down, his arms trembling as he lifts Katya into them. She feels lighter than ever, as if the weight of her body has been stolen along with her spirit. He carries her up the stairs, Every step a battle between fear and hope. From the shadows nearby, a figure watches Lena. Her breath catches as she sees her friend carried away, broken and fragile. She presses her back against the cold wall, tears stinging her eyes, because she knows this could have been her. It might still be her. And in that moment, the truth settles heavy in her chest. The plague does not only destroy the body, destroys the bonds between friends, the trust between families, the future of entire lives. The breaking point has arrived. But the fall is not over. In the days that follow, Misha does not sleep. He sits by Katya's bedside, listening to the uneven rhythm of her breathing, watching her pale face in the dim light of their small apartment. Every twitch of her hands, every murmur in her sleep feels like a warning. He is only 17, but in those nights he feels decades older. Fear and love bind him to the chair beside her. When Katya wakes, her eyes are distant. She avoids his gaze, ashamed, as though she has betrayed him. But Misha does not look away. He cannot. He knows that if he lets her slip back into silence, she may never return, so he begins a quiet fight. In secret, late at night, he searches on his old phone. Articles, forums, phone numbers, anything that speaks of help. He scrolls through endless words, reading about recovery, about the dangers of Mephedrone, about the countless teenagers already lost. He dials numbers that ring and ring with no answer. He hears the click of call centers telling him there are no spaces, no resources, no hope. But still, he tries. Because to give up is to lose Katya forever. And then, one evening, as the snow beats against the window, a new voice answers on the other end of the line. A calm voice, steady, human, a volunteer from a small outreach group that fights in the shadows of this crisis. They are not doctors, not officials. They are ordinary people, teachers, former addicts, parents who refuse to let these children vanish. They meet Misha quietly in a nearby community center, their faces tired but kind.